It's the end. NBA on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you all the action.
Got a nice clean game, huh?
This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside, and our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. The crowd here in anticipation of their home team Spurs in an interconference battle here at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. And by virtue of the NBA schedule, their first game of the new year is against Miami. In the two meetings last year, they came away with wins, never losing.
And last season, they made short work of this club. 2 games, 2 wins.
They may have wished for more games against them. A definite disparity in talent. We'll see if they take advantage again tonight.
So here's Miami's starting group. Dragic is joined in the backcourt by Wade. Dang and Bosh, your small and power forwards. And it's Whiteside in the pivot spot, manning the middle. And what a tough position Luol Deng found himself in last year in a small forward swap of sorts. LeBron James goes from Miami to Cleveland. Deng goes from Cleveland to Miami. He had his choice. There was Atlanta that was in the mix there too, but he goes to the Miami Heat. He's bounced around a little bit, but still a very big talent.
He is. You know, he kind of likes following legends. Remember, Scottie Pippen was that great small forward in Chicago, and Luol Deng was the next heir apparent. So he seemed to be pretty comfortable stepping into LeBron's role. Unfortunately, not able to deliver at the same level. And let's face it, the problem is you can't make up for losing the best player in the game, and that's the case here in Miami for Luol.
They get the rebound. They kick it out to Green. Leonard attacking, and the wide open shot from Green. No good. And Miami the other way now.
And, you know, getting back to Luol Deng, he wasn't entirely pleased with his new role. He's been a knockdown mid-range shooter throughout his career, but last year he was asked to shoot corner threes and volume, and that's not his game.
San Antonio on defense. Dragic kicks to Wade. Back to Dragic. He dishes it to Bosh. 5 on the clock. The 10-footer. And it's Miami with another.
And back to Luol Deng. I mean, he started last season pretty strong. I mean, Deng was actually healthier than LeBron at the beginning of the year. But the tables turned around midseason. Deng became hobbled with that knee, and LeBron returned to his old dominant self.
Wade dishes to Dragic. This one for 3. And it's sent back by Aldridge. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Leonard with no one around. San Antonio again missing. Here's Bosh. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. 6 points for Chris Bosh.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Here's Wade. Deng with it. Guarded now by Duncan. Whiteside. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. And Hassan Whiteside of Miami had the breakout year of all breakout years. Clark, he blew up in the right way last season. Averaged a double-double over 48 games.
Yeah, and great to see for Whiteside because he did have some issues prior to the breakout year. And it's nice to see him find his stride and produce with that awesome talent he has.
The Heat with the lead. Johnson double-teamed. Down low. It's tipped. It's 2 on 1.
And that almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. Said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
Stoudemire's checked in for the Heat.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
And the Heat going with the whole new group on the floor. Dragic the pass to Wade. The kick out to Dang. Back to Wade. Soft touch off the glass. And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Screen by Duncan. 4 on the clock. And here's Leonard from 3. Another miss by Leonard. To the paint. Whiteside. And that one is hammered home.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop chop there with that one hand tomahawk slam?
And Leonard gets it to go.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Dragic kicks to Bosh. And that's good. And it's Dragic with the assist. And it's 9 points for Chris Bosh.
And they're just raining threes on both ends.
Boy, I love the answer. You come at me with the 3, I'm coming right back with my own triple.
Dang with it. Leonard picks him up. And Chris Bosh with the slam.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And the basket by Ginobili.
Well, if you like offense, that's what you're getting here early on.
This has a little bit of playground feel to it, fellas. I mean, forget about defending. Just outscore the other team. Let it fly. You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks that Coach drew up. Yet another bucket in close. That's how he's earning his points today.
Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. West is checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Daniel Green, he's checked in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Levine.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the 3-point variety.
And you need the defense to stop the bleeding.
Now here's Mills. Justice Winslow missing his last shot. The drive by Green. Out to West. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Ginobili gets the bucket.
Their 3rd 3-pointer in a row.
Adjustment time for these guys. The defense has to make some adjustment here.
Now here's Winslow. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Johnson wide open. He fires. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Manu Ginobili is one of the toughest guys you'll ever meet. That goes not just for the NBA, but any sport. I mean, a true competitor in every sense of the word.
And Miami going with a whole new group out there. Wade drives in, and it goes out of bounds. That one off West. Kevin Martin, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili.
Kevin Martin.
Dragic kicks to Dang. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Boy, I really love the way Dragic spreads that ball around.
For Miami, they have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon.
And guys, those numbers represent a nice step up from what they were last year. Even though it went down, I don't think that's the kind of look they should be settling for.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Pass to Green. Outside, Martin. Good if it goes. And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. It's the Spurs up 1. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And off we go at close game, now starting the second quarter. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Spurs?
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Yeah, another thing they've done well, guys, a lot of steals in the first half. Really getting after it defensively.
Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Levine at the point. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. Leonard attacking. And it's sent back by Bosh. And here's the break. Back to Wade. Deflects the pass. And they're pushing it up. Leonard kicks to Green. Out to Duncan. And it's Aldridge, top of the key. 5 to shoot. The 10-footer. It's hauled in by Luol Deng. Deng's got 4 rebounds in this game.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Here's Levine, following the basket by Chris Bosh. A 3 from Leonard, and it's Leonard again missing. Pass to Stoudemire. Count the bucket. Now it's a 5-point Heat lead. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
San Antonio calls timeout.
I tell you, Luol Deng is not exceptional in any one area, but really doesn't have any weaknesses either. I think he's been one of the most complete small forwards over the past decade in the league.
Whiteside's checked in for Miami. Dragic comes in for Johnson. Here's Leonard. The turnaround jumper. Count it. Leonard's got 14. Talking about Luol Deng, his consistency year to year has been outstanding. Over 11 seasons, Greg, if you look at his averages across every category, they're remarkably similar.
And here's a guy who can score from anywhere. Great mid-range game, makes plays for his teammates, rebounds at both ends. He is versatile and bankable.
Spurs trail by 5. And here's Mills from the arc. Can't hit. Now the Heat take it the other way. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Minnesota, where they'll take on the Timberwolves. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. Zach LaVine comes in for Patty Mills. Corner shot. They get the rebound. Right side.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Martin. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Ginobili's got 3 assists now in this one.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
And here's Mills for 3. That's good. Mills has got his 2nd bucket of the night.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
And the jam by Whiteside.
And check out the bounce.
Oh, bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Now here's Mills. Manu Ginobili unable to get his shot to go. Ginobili against Wade. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Ginobili.
And for Wade, we often talk about his physical state. But what about the mental toughness? Here's a guy who's been playing in some kind of pain every game for the past few years. But he just keeps churning the butter, not wanting to let his team down.
The Heat making a switch here. Stoudemire's checked in for Whiteside. Josh McRoberts comes in for Chris Bosh. Winslow's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Johnson in for Goran Dragic. Richardson, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. Greg, you brought up the topic of Wade. He's had a chance to make several tough mental adjustments throughout his career.
Well, he's always been a guy willing to alter his game for the good of the team. That's why he's got those championship rings, Kevin. You've got to be flexible, not just talented.
Yeah, when Shaq comes in and joins him, then he had to change away when LeBron came in to play.
Great credit to him.
Yeah.
Great credit to him.
Very admirable. Johnson double teamed. Launches it. Richardson. And there's Richardson. That's good on the assist by Stoudemire. Richardson's got the lead up to 9 now for the Heat. Now here's Mills. He's guarded by Johnson. To the inside. It's stolen by Stoudemire. Here's Winslow. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. And now it's an 11-point Heat lead.
Clark.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for the Heat?
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
And it's Johnson penetrating. The dish to Richardson. Shot clock at 5. Miami needs to get a shot off. And Stoudemire gets it to go. Stoudemire's got 6 points.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number.
Oh, wow.
Forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark? Brilliant throwdown.
Just exerting his authority on that play.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Spurs trail by 11. .144 left to play here in the half. And the shot is good.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat, but he's been with the organization for so long. They are starting to become synonymous.
.130 left now here in the second. It's tipped. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Outside Martin. Fires the three. Miami grabs the miss. Greg, as you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Riley, Clark kind of molded him in his image.
Yeah, and it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
Here's Ginobili. Another shot. Fires for three. Miami grabs the miss. Whiteside's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Ginobili with the steal. Here's Martin. Finish off the break. Martin's got it back down to within single digits for San Antonio. Dragic kicks to Bosch. Off on the layup.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And that concludes. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
You know, Bosch is playing really well. He has 17 points and 2 blocks. Not missing much. In fact, hitting just about everything he's taken.
And Clark, the question is, how long can he keep it up?
The second half just about to get going here. You look at Chris Bosh in this game, I mean, he's been everywhere.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. They've got Winslow. Johnson is out there with Richardson. Then it's Stoudemire. And it's McRoberts in at the power forward.
Whoa. That'll wake you up. My goodness.
Is he an athlete or what?
No doubt about it. It's almost as if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
Hey, for Zach LaVine, the dunk contest last season was his coming out party to the world. He put on a show that everybody in the NBA was buzzing about.
Leonard, that's for 2. The rebound by Johnson.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Here's Levine. He's guarded by Johnson. Levine kicks to Leonard. It's blocked. Richardson against Green. Johnson for three.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Aldridge wide open. He fires. No good on the three.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only one for the first 5.
Offensive rebound, Heat.
It's not winning basketball when you're attempting shots like that.
Yeah, come on now. You got to remember it's a team game. He's got 4 teammates out there with him. I don't think he needs to try to do it all by himself like that.
And Leonard gets it to go.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
You know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do. You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and it proves you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
Now here's Bosch. 17 points in the game. No good. Some solid defense from Aldridge. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points. Even when they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular. And he pulled it off.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it.
I agree. I mean, now's when you need a spark, something electric to get your teammates fired up.
And Ginobili wide open. He shoots. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Outside Leonard. And Whiteside sends it back. The shot by Wade wide open. No good, unable to end this run. Here's Levine for the lead. Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. The Heat with the lead. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Hey, guys, for Zach LaVine, once he finally got comfortable last season, boy, did he heat up. He shot 42% over his rookie year, but 47% over the last month. And I think that gave him a lot of confidence as he's entering into year 2.
Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for San Antonio. Leonard brings the double team. Here's Dang. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
You know, as Greg was talking about, Levine was a lights-out shooter at times in college. He would go on these binges, falling back, Clark, from 25 feet and draining it. I mean, unreal shots.
Well, it looks good when they're going down, but he also can bend, shoot you out of a game. So you pick your poison.
Wade kicks to Bosch. And the powerful one-handed slam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Levine dishes to Duncan. 2 on the clock. Leonard, that's for 2. Hits the front of the rim and out.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
Here's Dragic from outside. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line. It's on Kawhi Leonard. And one of Goran Dragic's greatest traits, Greg, excelling in the open court. High-energy point guard, a lot like you, speed to burn, very smart guy. Coveted by many.
He really is. And Kevin, he transitions from defense to offense as quickly as anyone in the league, a la Tony Parker, except he's also equally adept at facilitating for others and spotting up for the three, or just taking it to the rack himself.
Here's Bosch. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. Dragic has got assist number 8 now on the night. Kicks it out to Ginobili. Diaw with a wide-open look. Here's West. Martin wide open. He fires. Nice shot from the wing. Martin's got 5 points in the quarter. And Chris Bosh with the slam.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risks to see if they can cut that lead down.
And they clearly are just destroying this group right now from the three-point line.
Yeah, and the defense knows it. I mean, they are fully stretched out trying to stop the three-point shot and still haven't been able to do it.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
That's his first personal foul.
Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
The Spurs making a switch here. Green's checked in.
And for West, a lot of what he brings to the table is just professionalism, leadership, and a real example of how to get the most out of what you've got. He keeps everybody on the team focused, too. When he speaks, guys listen.
Kevin Martin.
West, guys, still very strong as a player, but clearly it's his leadership that sets him apart. Does all those little intangibles that help teams win games.
Timeout called, the Heat. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And he makes the first.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
That's exactly when you need to be aggressive, Greg. You know that. I mean, another good job, though, of drawing contact and getting to the free throw line.
Here's Johnson. Got a hand on it. For the lead. Can't get it to go. And it's Miami the other way. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Richardson for 3. Richardson missing again.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Mills passes to Diaw. He kicks to Mills. Good, and it's Diaw with the assist that time. Mills has got 11 points.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Spurs.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
Yeah, but they've been offensive defensively tonight because they really forced the issue on D and come up with quite a few steals and deflections.
7 lead changes now, and we're just in the third quarter.
Yeah, each side having a tough time staying in front.
Yeah, frustrating for a coach, but it's great to watch as a fan. And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
Now, here's Mills. He's got 13. Rest outside. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Justice Winslow.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And the Spurs with some changes. LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Diaw. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Kevin Martin. And Jack LaVine subbed in for Patty Mills. San Antonio again missing Richardson. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 5 assists in the game.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
And so after 3 quarters of play, and thanks for joining us again as the 4th quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Heat shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? Defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's LaVine at the 1. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Wade against Aldridge. Kicks it out to Leonard. The 3. And the shot is good. Leonard's got 11 in the second half.
And this is someone that can really hurt you from long range. He did that to a degree in the first half, and he's doing it now.
Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. The Heat trail by 3. Wade kicks to Bosh. Good ball movement here by Miami. Dang attacking. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was 1 step late that time, Greg.
Here's Dang. Tim Duncan with the rebound.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big 3, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big 3 recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely. The Spurs making a switch here. Ginobili's checked in.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Leonard attacking. The open shot by Ginobili. And the officials call over the back. A little too aggressive there.
You know, right call. Gave the officials no choice there. I mean, they've got to make that call over the back.
Yeah, I mean, he went chest first into the man in front of him. My goodness, I'm not an official, and I could have gotten that one right.
Here's Bosh. Duncan with the block. Ginobili kicks to Duncan. Outside Leonard. Nice D from Bosch. Last game for the Spurs. They want to turn it around after the loss to the Thunder in Oklahoma City. Passes it to Dragic. And the defense didn't have position. They whistle a blocking foul, and he'll go to the line. Tim Duncan picks one up.
And it was a very public falling out between Goran Dragic and the Suns front office. That was a real tense few weeks there before ultimately he was traded.
And, of course, Dragic was traded to Miami last season. Said he felt betrayed by the Suns front office, which spurred him wanting out of Phoenix into South Florida.
Yeah, you know what? We'll never know the whole truth about that situation, but Dragic said they told him one thing with personnel and did something else.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He told them, this is it, fellas. Let's hit them right out of this timeout. Put some pressure on them. Show them how much you want it. Let's go get it. Guys, he's really exhorting them to give them a burst of energy.
Clock is at 3. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his second personal foul.
Leonard has been playing really well. He has 29 points, and from downtown, he's buried 3 3-pointers.
Well, when he squared himself up and gotten good looks, he's knocked them down.
The Miami Heat came up short last season in hopes of getting back to the playoffs. Clark, their road record didn't help them much.
Yeah, 17-24. I don't think you can be that far under 500 on the road and hope to play in the postseason.
Dang. There's the bucket. Good.
I mean, you never expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
It's stolen by Dragic. Now here's Dragic, the fast break opportunity. Wade, good. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Miami.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
And how about for the Heat having the best road record of any team that didn't make the postseason in the East? But as you said, struggling on the road will sink a team battling for a playoff spot.
Duncan dishes to Ginobili. Levine kicks to Leonard. Stolen by Wade. Here's Whiteside, and he dunks it down. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Yeah, and actually still too close to call. I mean, this one is tight.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Outside Leonard. And he goes in for the dunk.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And he is the ultimate when it comes to being a floor leader on the offensive end.
Yeah, you know, he's got a little bit of Greg Anthony in it. And he has been that leader today. I think he's done a really nice job of moving the ball and distributing it the way it needs to be done.
Well, Clark, I'm glad you referenced specifically why you thought he had a little Greg Anthony. I thought you were talking about my knees, my man. He looked a little hobbled out there for a moment. And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Here's Duncan. And good. He's got the English that time as it falls. Heat have gone 6 of 11 since the start of the fourth quarter. Down low. Here's Wade. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Look at the night for Dwayne Wade. He has 8 points, and he's come up with a couple of nice steals today, too.
Clark, just a very energetic brand of defense.
You know, you've got to like the fact that they're getting to the line, and on top of that, they're making their free throws in this half. That bodes well going forward.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Way too many shots in close, and he's got to get his guys to cut that down in terms of points in the paint.
Clearly the reason for the timeout, Greg. I mean, he wants his guys to toughen up inside and start protecting the rim.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Well, it was Miami winning their last game against Dallas. Kicks it to Mills. Back to Green. Cans it from downtown. Green's got the game tied up here for the Spurs.
Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
Leonard attacking to the middle. Here's Mills. There's the pass to West. Gets to the rim for two with the D all over him. And the Spurs lead by 2.
And with that matchup, doing what he was able to do there, just muscling inside, he's not going to have a lot of problems. And the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more the offenses are in rhythm.
Without question. I mean, both of these teams are firing on full broadband bandwidth. I mean, full throttle ahead. Well, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
To the middle. Look at that.
Now, this is why the breakaway rim was invented, for plays just like that.
Well, he almost brought the whole thing down, Clark, by hanging on that long.
Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, though, great dunk, and this is even a better game we got going on right now.
Leonard attacking. 6 on the shot clock. West. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for it. West has got 4 points in the quarter. The Heat have got a pretty good rhythm going offensively, shooting 8 of 15 for the quarter. Here's Wade. That's in, coming off an assist from Dragic. 12 points for Dwayne Wade.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Way up and over the big guy. And what a time in the ball game to make it happen.
Now a timeout called by Miami. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Levine. Stolen by Bosch. It's Dragic with the drive. Right side Dang. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Dragic.
Huge turnover there, and at a bad time, too. You have to value every possession.
Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game, a loss to Oklahoma City. It's stolen by Wade. Stolen by Ginobili. Aldridge drives in. Kicks it out to Ginobili. Off target from outside. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Aldridge a screen. Leonard on the wing. Lets the 3 fly. Knocks down the 3.
Boy, and just look at what Leonard is doing.
And it's still within reach.
But they have to be really close to perfect from here on out. I mean, they have to get their offense right on target, right on point immediately.
Game could be on the line right here.
It's basically now or never for them.
With tough position.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball. Share the sugar.
To the paint. Money!
And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
No question about it. I mean, these teams are really battling hard now.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're behind by 1. Just 2 seconds left to play here in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
It's come down to this. One shot to win the game. They have just enough time to catch the ball, make a quick pass, and then get it airborne.
For the win, the tagger. He drills the game winner.
All zeros on the clock as he drains the game winner.
And, Greg, he knew it was good when it left his hand. He started celebrating as soon as it got off his fingertip.
And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as Clark, they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
Yep, and it might not be the way a coach would have drawn it up or wanted it to end, but these fans loved it.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now we'll head over to the studio with Ernie Johnson.